Have you ever read something and suddenly felt quiet? Not because it was confusing, but it felt familiar. Like the writer had somehow understood your life. Maybe it was a character who fell out of place, or someone remembering something they had tried to forget, or someone belonging to two worlds, not fully belonging to either. If that has ever happened to you, then you've experienced literature as a mirror. Today, we are going to explore 4 themes that make literature reflect real life: identity, memory, belonging, and culture. And you might realize that you've seen these stories more than you could have ever thought. In our last video, we talked about what makes literature contemporary. Can you still recall what makes the literature contemporary? You are right! Those are literature that happened after the war, 1945. What happened after the war? People didn't just rebuild cities, they rebuilt themselves. They began asking, who am I now? Where do I belong? What do I carry from the past? What does my culture mean in a changing world? And that is where today's lesson begins. Imagine you are standing in a room full of people. At school, you are one version of yourself. At home, you are another. Online, maybe another. Which one is the real you? That question is identity. Identity is not just your name. It is your history, your beliefs, your fears, your language. It is the silent answer to the question, who am I when no one's watching? In the house of Mango Street, a young girl named Esperanza dreams of leaving her neighborhood. But what she is really searching for is herself. Contemporary literature often focuses on characters who are still discovering who they are. Memory is not just remembering. It is the past living inside the present. It is guilt that lingers. It is love that never leaves. It is a promise made in childhood that echoes into adulthood. In the Kite Runner, the past does not stay behind. It follows. It waits. It asks to be confronted. Sometimes, the past is not something we escape. It is something we must return to in order to become whole. Contemporary literature shows us the trauma, life's experiences. These are the things that made us who we are. Ask yourself, is there something in the past that still influences your choices today? That is literature reflecting real life. Picture this. You move to a new country, new language, new rules, new expectations, but inside you are still you. Where do you fit? Belonging is the human need to be accepted, to be seen, to feel at home. In Americanah, if Emilio leaves Nigeria and moves to America, even though she builds a life there, something shifts inside her. The way she sees herself, the way others sees her. And I understand that feeling. I'm Filipino. I was born and raised in the Philippines, but I moved to Vietnam a couple of years ago. And sometimes you don't realize how much of your identity is tied to your home until you live somewhere else. You begin to notice your accent, the food you miss, the holidays that feel different, the small cultural habits you carry without thinking. And you ask yourself, where do I belong? That is contemporary literature becoming personal. Because in a global world, many people live between cultures. Sometimes we are both from here and from somewhere else. Contemporary literature often explores migration, race, displacement, and alienation because modern life is full of movement. And sometimes belonging is not about geography, it's about recognition. Have you ever felt like you didn't fully belong somewhere? That feeling is a theme in contemporary literature. Think about this. What language do you switch to when you are emotional? What food reminds you of home? What traditions shape your values? That is culture. Culture is the invisible force that shapes how we think, speak, and love. In America is in the Heart, we see the experience of a Filipino immigrant searching for dignity in America. His culture travels with him. Contemporary literature gives voice to culture that were once ignored or silenced. It tells stories from different races genders, identity, and nations. When we read these stories, we don't just learn about others, we also learn about ourselves. So why do we see ourselves in stories? Because contemporary literature focuses on real human struggles, identity, memory, belonging, culture. Those are not abstract ideas. They are lived experiences. When a character questions who they are, we remember our own doubts. When a character cannot escape the past, we remember our own memories. When a character searches for home, we remember our own longing. That is why contemporary literature feels personal. It reflects us. Let's check your understanding. If a story focuses on a character trying to understand who they are, what theme is that? Correct, identity. If the past continues to affect the present, correct, it's memory. If someone struggles to feel accepted, very good, belonging. If traditions, language, and heritage shape a character, culture. Our spotlight story for today is the novel America is in the Heart by Carlos Bulusan.
They teach us to love a country that doesn't know we exist, my son.
But books say it is a land of equality, Mother.
Books are ink and paper. America's far away, and opportunity often demands a price you cannot pay.
He grew up in a land shaped by colonial promises, taught to reach for a dream that was never designed for him to hold.
No.
Carlos Bulusan. This is not the America of the school books. This is a wall, not a gate.
Drink slow, kid. They've got miles of lettuce left to cut.
Stop talking. You're paid by the box, not the hour.
They got our wages again? How do we eat?
We share what we have. That is how we survive. We are all we have here.
In the fields, they were just bodies, but together they were a brotherhood.
You think you belong here? Stealing jobs, dancing with the women? Get out of town!
If this is freedom, why does it feel like a cage?
He found that while the streets could be violent, the library was a fortress.
If they deny me dignity, I will take it. I will learn their language, their laws, and their history. I will ride their silence into a roar. We are not just labor. We are human beings, and we have a voice. America is not in the land, not in the factory floors or the fields. America is in the heart. It lives wherever hope survives the darkness.
And though he suffered, he did not lose faith in humanity, only in injustice.
Across the ocean for a promised light, work in the fields from morn until night.
Hey, it was so hard, but we had to fight.
In this new land of fortune and of strife, searching for a better, dignified life. America is in the heart.
A brand new world, a different start.
America is in the heart.
It tore our old lives all apart.
It's time for a quiz. Can you still recall? Check to see if you understand our lesson today. Are you ready? You have 5 seconds to answer the following questions.
A daughter in San Francisco feels embarrassed when her mother brags about her in public using loud Chinese. She wants to be seen as a normal American girl, not a prodigy defined by her mother's heritage. Which theme is this? A. Memory, B. Identity, C. Culture, D. Belonging. Kathy sits in her car and keeps a collection of old cassette tapes and dried flowers from her childhood school. These objects are the only things that prove her childhood actually happened. Which theme is this? A. Memory, B. Identity, C. Culture, D. Belonging. Moses has lived in London for 10 years, but he still feels like a ghost in the city. When he walks down the street, people look through him. And he realizes he will never truly be English. In their eyes, A memory, B identity, C culture, D belonging. An American-born family visits a temple in India. The parents try to explain the religious significance of the statues, but the children are bored and just want to find a place that sells burgers and fries. Which theme is this? A memory, B identity, C culture, D belonging.
How many did you get? Did you get a perfect score? Good job! This has been Teacher Jelly, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!